All stand and remain standing until the conclusion of the reading of the proclamation. Ladies and gentlemen, the proclamation. All persons having any business before this honorable court now draw nigh. Give your attendance, and you shall be heard.
Yes. Admission of lawyers. Marim Abu Samen.
Mover.
May it please the court, I move that Maram Abu Samen be admitted as lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Maram Abu Samen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Annabelle Rose Anderson.
May it please the court, I move that Annabelle Rose Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Annabelle Rose Anderson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Aston Aronson.
May it please the court, I move that Aston Aronson be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Aston Aronson be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Catherine Tabayan Bayim.
May it please the court, I move that Catherine Tabayin Bayim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Catherine Tabayan Bayim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ashwarya Balachandar.
May it please the court, I move that Ashwarya Balachandar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ashwarya Balachandar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Andrew Robert Barr.
May it please the court, I move that Andrew Robert Barr be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Andrew Robert Barr be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zhu Chen.
May it please the court, I move that Shu Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shu Chen be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Tiffany Corliss Louise Curlew.
May it please the court, I move that Tiffany Corliss Louise Curlew be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Tiffany Corliss Louise Curlew be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alicia Claire Curry.
May it please the court, I move that Alicia Claire Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alicia Claire Curry be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Johan Ferreira da Silva.
May it please the court, I move that Johan Ferreira da Silva be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Johan Ferreira da Silva be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mohammed Bassam Elakras.
May it please the court, I move that Mohammed Bassam Al-Akhras be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Mohammed Bassam Al-Akras be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Paul Estefan.
May it please the court, I move that Paul Estefan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Paul Estefan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Bei Feng.
May it please the court, I move that Bei Feng be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Bei Feng be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jasmine Kiara Ford.
May it please the court, I move that Jasmine Kiara Ford be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jasmine Kiara Ford be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Benjamin James Friedman.
May it please the court, I move that Benjamin James Friedman be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Benjamin James Friedman be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anthony Nicholas Gabriel.
May it please the court, I move that Anthony Nicholas Gabriel be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anthony Nicholas Gabriel be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ru Yi Han.
May it please the court, I move that Ru Yi Han be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ru Yi Han be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Andrew George Horn.
May it please the court, I move that Andrew George Horn be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Andrew George Horn be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Wan Wen Huang.
May it please the court, I move that Wan Wen Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Wan Wen Huang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Glenn Stephen Hugo.
May it please the court, I move that Glenn Stephen Hugo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Glenn Stephen Hugo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sherelle Joseph.
May it please the court, I move that Sherelle Joseph be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sherelle Joseph be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Carla Kim Kevin.
May it please the court, I move that Carla Kim Kevin be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Carla Kim Kevin be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Najwa Khatib.
May it please the court, I move that Najwa Khatib be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Najwa Khatib be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Elisa Kim.
May it please the court, I move that Elisa Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Elisa Kim be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Ellen Louise Kate Lake.
May it please the court, I move that Ellen Louise Kate Lake be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ellen Louise Kate Lake be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Zishui Leo.
May it please the court, I move that Zhishui Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Zhishui Liu be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Carlos Raul Luna.
May it please the court, I move that Carlos Raul Luna be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Carlos Raul Luna be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Andrew Peter John Marler.
May it please the court, I move that my brother Andrew Peter John Marler be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Andrew Peter John Marler be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Chloe Denita Malolo.
May it please the court, I move that Chloe Denita Malolo be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Chloe Denita Malolo be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Parija Masood.
May it please the court, I move that Parija Masood be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Parija Masood be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rebecca Gabrielle McCann.
May it please the court, I move that Rebecca Gabrielle McCann be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Rebecca Gabrielle McCann be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Judy Ann Middlewick Dilchert.
May it please the court, I move that Judy Ann Middlewick Dilchert be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Judy Ann Middlewick Dilchert be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Arian Moseni.
May it please the court, I move that Arian Moseni be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Arian Moseni be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Celine Nalbandian.
May it please the court, I move that Celine Nalbandian be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Celine Nalbandian be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
James Henry Blaxland Parker.
May it please the court, I move that James Henry Blaxland Parker be admitted as a lawyer in this honourable court.
Let James Henry Blaxland Parker be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Isabel Lucy Patmore.
May it please the court, I move that Isabel Lucy Patmore be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Isabel Lucy Patmore be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Stephen Ross Pervinus.
May it please the court, I move that Stephen Ross Pervinus be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Stephen Ross Pervinus be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Shazia Kamar.
May it please the court, I move that Shazia Kamar be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Shazia Kamar be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sophie Catherine Louise Ramsey.
May it please the court, I move that my sister, Sophie Catherine Louise Ramsey, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sophie Catherine Louise Ramsey be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alison Joy Reed Frost.
May it please the court, I move that Alison Joy Reed Frost be admitted as the lawyer of this honourable court.
That Alison Joy Reed Frost be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Lauren Marie Rolfe.
May it please the court, I move that Lauren Marie Rolfe be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Lauren Marie Rolfe be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Mariah Zoe Sard.
May it please the court, I move that Mariah Zoe Sard be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
That Mariah Zoe Sard be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Antonia Sharp.
May it please the court, I move that Antonia Sharp be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Antonia Sharp be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Jacob James Shilito.
May it please the court, I move that Jacob James Shalito be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Jacob James Shalito be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Madeline Renee Simmons.
May it please the court, I move that Madeline Renee Simmons be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Madeline Renee Simmons be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Maximilian Leonard Stella.
May it please the court, I move that my nephew, Maximilian Leonard Stella, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Maximilian Leonard Stella be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dylan Elliott Swanborough.
May it please the court, I move that Dylan Elliott Swanborough be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dylan Elliott Swanborough be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Gabrielle Louise Tahan.
May it please the court, I move that Gabrielle Louise Tahan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Gabrielle Louise Tahan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Priyanka Hassan Tamana.
May it please the court, I move that Priyanka Hassan Tamana be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Priyanka Hassan Tamana be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Rouge Tian.
May it please the court, I move that Ruga Tian be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Ruga Tian be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Dimitri George Valiotis.
May it please the court, I move that Dimitri George Valiotis be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Dimitri George Valiotis be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Yu Ting Wang.
May it please the court, I move that Yu Ting Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Yu Ting Wang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Alexandra Wills.
May it please the court, I move that my niece, Alexandra Wills, be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Alexandra Wells be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Catherine Yan.
May it please the court, I move that Catherine Yan be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Catherine Yan be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Anna Yang.
May it please the court, I move that Anne Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Anne Yang be admitted as a lawyer of this court.
Sona Yawari.
May it please the court, I move that Sona Yawari be admitted as a lawyer of this honourable court.
Let Sona Yawari be admitted as a lawyer of this court. It will now be necessary for those applicants whose admission has just been moved to stand when directed and remain standing for the purpose of swearing an oath or making an affirmation. So please stand as directed by the officiating officer.
Could the two rows on my right please stand up? Marem Abu Samen, Annabelle Rose Anderson, Aston Aronson, Catherine Tabayin Bayim, Ashwarya Balachanda, Andrew Robert Barr, Zhu Chen, Tiffany Corliss Louise Curlew, Alicia Claire Curry, Johan Ferreira da Silva, Mohammed Bassam Elakras, Paul Estefan, Bei Feng, Jasmine Kiara Ford, Benjamin James Friedman. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability. Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. Would rows 3 and 4 on my right please stand up? Anthony Nicholas Gabriel, Ru Yi Han, Andrew George Horn, Wan Wen Huang, Glenn Stephen Hugo, Sherelle Joseph, Carla Kim Kevin, Najwa Khatib, Elisa Kim, Ellen Louise Kate Lake, Zishui Leo, Carlos Raul Luna, Andrew Peter John Marler, Chloe Danita Malolo, Parija Masud, Rebecca Gabrielle McCann, Judy Ann Middlewick Dilchert, Aryan Moseni, Celine Nalbandian, James Henry Blaxland Parker. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. With the row in front of me, please stand up. Isabel Lucy Patmore, Stephen Ross Pervinus, Shazia Kamar, Sophie Catherine Louise Ramsey, Alison Joy Reed Frost, Lauren Marie Rolfe, Mariah Zoe Sard, Antonia Sharp, Jacob James Shalito. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down. And with the 2 rows on my left, please stand up. Madeline Renee Simmons, Maximilian Leonard Stella, Dylan Elliott Swanborough, Gabrielle Louise Tahan, Priyanka Hassan Tamana, Rujay Tian, Dimitri George Valiotis, Yu Ting Wang, Alexandra Wills, Catherine Yan, Anne Yang, Sona Yawari. Do you severally swear or declare and affirm that you will truly and honestly conduct yourselves in the practice of a lawyer of the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and that you will faithfully serve as such in the administration of the laws and usages of this state, according to the best of your knowledge, skill, and ability? Would you please say, "So help me God," or "I do"? Thank you. Please sit down.
Well, may I warmly welcome you all to this, the Banco Court of the Supreme Court of New South Wales. Present with me on the bench today, to my right, is Justice Stern, a Judge of Appeal, and to my left is Justice Parker, a Judge of the Equity Division of the Court. Together, we constitute the court that has admitted the newly admitted lawyers in the exercise of our jurisdiction to practice. We've done so sitting in a court which itself sits on the land for which the Gadigal of the Eora nation have cared and been custodians for thousands of years. And the court pays its sincere respects to elders past and present and extends those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. I also acknowledge sitting with us on the bench today is Justice John Robson of the Land and Environment Court of New South Wales, and we're very pleased that he's able to join us this morning. To all of the newly admitted lawyers, welcome to the legal profession. Today is one of celebration. We up here on the bench know how hard you have all worked to reach this milestone. It's a memory that never really leaves you. I'm also pleased to welcome those with you today or watching on the live stream. For many of you, the support of your family and friends will have been invaluable on the journey thus far. No doubt they've also been on the receiving end of your finely polished or emerging skills of argument and persuasion, and I encourage you to take time to thank them this morning. Depending on how good an advocate you are or have become, you might even convince them to shout you a long and civilised lunch later in the day. Now, being admitted as a lawyer of this court, you join an honourable and ancient profession with the custom of advocates swearing an oath on admission to practice dating back to the 12th century. This court first admitted lawyers to practice in 1824, nearly 200 years ago, 200 years next May. And by 1830, the names of lawyers were entered onto the rolls in this state, just as you will do immediately after this ceremony. It's in acknowledgement of the weighty responsibility that you undertake to practice as a lawyer that we observe today's unique formalities, including the fact that your admission has been moved by somebody who is already a member of the legal profession, and that you have each made a formal oath or affirmation in the presence of your family and peers, and indeed the judges of the court. They and we are all witnesses to the promises and undertakings you have made. Now, in terms of tradition and formality, you will see from the portraits of former Chief Justices on the walls that we on the bench are wearing the same robes, in some cases literally, as have been worn by our predecessors. Symbolically, that highlights the continuity of the rule of law in New South Wales, although the judges wearing the robes are now drawn from an increasingly diverse pool. As to continuity of the rule of law, in a world in which there is much global uncertainty and insecurity, the rule of law is more important than ever, and not simply a phrase of some theoretical interest or academic import. The rule of law is the opposite of the arbitrary abuse of power and the rule of autocratic dictators and populists. We know there is nothing theoretical about those threats to democracy around the world, and so we take the observance of the rule of law and its continuity in New South Wales and Australia extremely seriously. The law touches every part of our society. It's what binds a civilised, mature society and community together. And the law, the practice of the law, can and will lead you all in many different directions and career paths, including directions and paths that might not have occurred to you at this early point in your careers. But in whatever direction you ultimately head, you must always remember that the oath or affirmation that you have just made is a really serious one and deserves solemn regard. Whether you work in private practice, at the bar, in a community legal centre, a Crown Law Office, for the Aboriginal Legal Service, in a government department or agency, or indeed in an entirely different field, you should always be known for your honesty, your integrity, and your commitment to substantive and procedural justice. And you must strive at all times to uphold these cardinal values. Now, notwithstanding the formality and tradition attending this ceremony, and to which I've already referred, not everything in the legal profession remains unchanging. For example, we saw during the pandemic the rapid technological shift to remote hearings, and we note the ongoing implications of the increased use of technology for the way in which our legal system is able to interact, not just with the profession, but with members of the community, and how it has delivered greater workplace flexibility for practitioners, especially those with family responsibilities and in remote and regional areas. But while the increased use of technology offers a number of advantages, I have to say that the practice of the law has human nature and human interaction at its core. An essential part of being a good lawyer is understanding people, how others react to different situations, perform under pressure, and deal with each other. There have, of course, been other changes, important changes in the legal profession that deserve attention, in addition to those technological changes brought about by the pandemic. When we think, for example, of the diversity of the legal profession, we encounter a duality that we have, on the one hand, come a long way in recent years, but on the other hand, that much still needs to be done. One notable example of development relates to the role of female lawyers. In New South Wales, women were originally not even permitted to practice until 1918. And then, even with the passing of legislation permitting them to do so, had limited roles in practice for many years thereafter. But since 2018, women have made up more than half of all solicitors with a practicing certificate in New South Wales, and currently make up more than 2/3 of solicitors under the age of 30. And some of the most senior positions in the law in Australia are held by distinguished female lawyers, including the current Chief Justices of the High Court and Federal Court of Victoria, Queensland and the ACT. Justice Ward is the President of our Court of Appeal and the State's Director of Public Prosecutions and the Senior Public Defender, and the Presidents of the New South Wales Bar Association and the Law Society of New South Wales are also distinguished female practitioners. There should also be strong representation of lawyers from the many different backgrounds which comprise our cosmopolitan community. Diverse representation amongst solicitors, advocates and judges assists in ensuring that all people who become involved in our justice system can, and feel that they can, be properly heard and fairly engaged with by a system reflective of our broader community. The admissions ceremonies on which I have sat since becoming a judge almost 5 years ago, including this ceremony, highlight that there is a far greater diversity of background amongst junior lawyers than when I commenced practice. That is a very good thing, and leaders of the profession and the courts are working hard to foster inclusiveness and diversity in the profession. That in turn builds trust in and respect for both the judiciary and the legal profession, and ultimately respect for the rule of law. Now let me now offer a little bit of professional and personal advice. As a lawyer, you will often need to make difficult ethical decisions. You must use the tools you have developed to think critically and not compromise on your fundamental duties to the court and to the administration of justice. At various points in your career, you will make mistakes, some minor, some perhaps more serious. We all make mistakes from time to time. When you do make mistakes, your commitment to honesty, integrity, and the administration of justice means that you must take responsibility, correct what you can, and learn from those errors. One mistake I would advise you not to make is to give your clients the advice you think that they want to hear. That almost certainly will not be good advice, and they will not welcome it in the long run when the true picture emerges. Being a lawyer means that you're an advisor, a problem solver, a mediator, and an advocate. As you go about your day-to-day work, remember that you're not merely dealing with the law in a vacuum, but the law as it applies to people's lives. An individual who's in need of your services as a lawyer will, in many cases, be an individual facing some kind of great personal challenge or crisis affecting his or her liberty, property, personal well-being, or health or financial position. For these reasons, you must always strive to deliver legal services not only competently and fearlessly, of course, but always with courtesy, integrity, and sensitivity to the circumstances of the matter. In this context, I always like to emphasise in speeches of this nature the importance of civility in the practice of the legal profession. Aspects of the law, especially if you're involved in litigation, on the litigation side of practice in court, are confrontational. But the practice of the law can be stressful and demanding enough without personal animus and antagonism between practitioners adding to the load. It is essential that you maintain your detachment, balance, and good humour, remembering at all times that you are members of a profession and not a business. And remember this: the best advocates can and do make their points succinctly. Often, less is more. Some of the most experienced lawyers and judges could also use that reminder from time to time, and I don't wholly exclude myself from that admonition, although I, of course, exclude Justice Stern and Justice Parker. For a non-lawyer, and Justice Robson, I should add, for a non-lawyer, law is often incomprehensible. One of your roles as a lawyer will be to make the law accessible to others, sometimes by deciphering legal complexities, other times by dealing with poor legal drafting, and sometimes by simply getting to the bottom of a messy factual situation and explaining it in its proper legal framework. So strive to be clear and concise at all times in both your writing and your speaking. To do so actually facilitates access to justice. In the practice of the law, your physical and mental health are both extremely important. There may, and I dare say will be, times when you feel overwhelmed, burnt out, or distressed. Legal practice can be all-consuming and physically and mentally taxing. Now, that's often because lawyers tend to want to go the extra mile for their clients. They want to ensure that the case is properly prepared or the advice is comprehensive and they are on top of the facts and properly prepared. And those are admirable qualities. But it does mean, as I say, that legal practice can become all-consuming and very demanding. So you must work hard to endeavour to keep your balance and keep your eye out to ensure that your colleagues do so as well. If you do get overwhelmed by it all, as frankly we all have and do from time to time, try to take a step back and recapture some perspective. Also remember that the law is a highly collegiate profession, both across the profession and in firms and in chambers. And in this context, I'm now going to call on two young representatives, one of the New South Wales Bar Association and one of the Law Society, to say a few words of welcome to you on this important occasion. Ms. Musa, do you move?
May it please the Court. My name is Musa, and I have been practising as a lawyer for 10 years and at the New South Wales Bar for 1 year, predominantly in commercial litigation. On behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you all to the legal profession. The legal profession is an old profession based on precedent and the rule of law, while also being a profession that grows and develops to adapt to new practices and technology, and importantly, to society's values as they change over time. For several decades now, the composition of lawyers and barristers in New South Wales has changed to better reflect the community. The bar today is a welcoming place for people of all genders and backgrounds. It is an honour to be a lawyer, and in my case, a barrister, and I am proud to be a member of the legal profession. I enjoy the intellectual challenge of my job and that it allows me to give expert advice to and represent people in court and to contribute to society in a meaningful way. If you are interested in coming to the bar, I encourage you to contact the New South Wales Bar Association or have a look at its website. And each year there is a Career at the Bar Open Day, and I encourage you to attend. In your first year of practice as a reader, you receive particular assistance from two barristers of at least 7 years seniority, who meet with you weekly, review your work, teach you practical skills, and offer general support and guidance. But the support you receive is not limited to just those two barristers. The bar is renowned for its collegiality, especially in chambers. There are also opportunities to become involved in work at the bar, and the New South Wales Bar Association offers a number of committees, including a New South Wales Young Lawyers Committee for practitioners of 0 to 5 years, like me, and a Diversity and Equality Committee, which promotes one of the key strategic goals of the New South Wales Bar Association, to attract the best people to become barristers, regardless of their race, religion, gender, parental status, or sexual preference. Whether as a lawyer or barrister, I encourage you to get involved in the Law Society or the New South Wales Bar Association and to use your skills to assist your community. It is a very rewarding experience to practice in connection with others in your profession. Once again, on behalf of the New South Wales Bar Association, I welcome you all to the legal profession and I congratulate you on your admission today. May it please the Court.
Ms. Sani, for the Law Society.
May it please the Court. My name is Mana, and not so long ago I stood where you are standing today, and what a day it is for all of you. You are here today being admitted to the Supreme Court role as the final step in a long and arduous journey. You should all feel immensely proud of everything that you've achieved thus far. When I embarked on my career as a solicitor, I had no real idea of what to expect. Often it was overwhelming, and it was not always easy. But as I stand here today after 4 years of practicing as a criminal lawyer, I can tell you that I've already learned a thing or two. One of the most important things I've learned is the importance of belonging to a profession. The legal profession is an increasingly large and diverse community, and it's one to which you now belong. The Law Society of New South Wales is home to that community, with its 30,000 members flung far and wide across the state. We are bound by our shared duties, our commitment to continuous learning, our desire to connect, our drive to give back to the community and to uphold the rule of law. As an early career lawyer, belonging to a strong network of peers is critical. This is why I have been a part of the Law Society of New South Wales Young Lawyer Community branch for 2 years. Here, I have found friendship, inspiration, guidance, and support when I needed it most, as well as opportunities to advocate and join committees. By joining the Law Society, and specifically New South Wales Young Lawyers, you will gain access to professional support, conferences and events, a wide range of publications, professional development and mentoring opportunities, and so much more. It is the role of the Law Society to ensure that you, as newly minted solicitors, are able to thrive and succeed in your profession. So once again, congratulations to you all. You can look us up online or speak to your employer about joining the Law Society. We look forward to welcoming you into the profession. Thank you. May it please the Court.
Well, can I say this to you all in closing? The law is a wonderful profession. It's stimulating, challenging and satisfying. And it's populated by intelligent, committed and dynamic people such as yourselves. You should be proud to be a lawyer of your achievements to date and of the profession you have just joined. It is a very important profession that underpins stability and cohesion in our community. You are now a very important part of that very important profession. So work hard, take pride in your work, look out for your colleagues, contribute to the wider community, and don't take yourself too seriously. We wish you all the very best of luck on the exciting journey that lies ahead and a full and rewarding career. On behalf of Justice Stern, Justice Parker, Justice Robson, and all the judges of the Supreme Court, I once again congratulate you all on your admission this morning and welcome you again to the legal profession. The Court will now adjourn.
All stand. This honourable court is now adjourned.